Hey everybody, it's Sergeant K here with a 4th of July, 4th of July episode of Sergeant K's Corner, obviously. And I am Sergeant K, and I'm here to welcome you, and I hope that you're going to have a great 4th of July, and I hope that you're going to do some of the cool things that Americans are known for traditionally on the 4th of July, like cookouts, burgers on the grill, chicken on the grill, chicken wings, hot dogs. Hot dogs. You cannot have 4th of July without hot dogs, without a nice pasta salad, and without a watermelon. It just doesn't work. Not since the 60s has America seen some of the turmoil and unrest that we've witnessed over these last few years. It seems like every now and again, we just decide to get a little weird, get our underwear in a bunch over some things. And this time around, we really do have a lot to get our undies in a bunch over. I mean, we've got crooked politicians, a crooked government. Not that that should ever be anything that surprises us. As an American, you even look at our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, and let's talk about that for a little bit. Americans, by nature, by our past education, and by our, I don't want to use the term grooming, but by our pedigree, let's use that term, by our pedigree, don't trust the government. The framers of our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, what were they doing? They were breaking away from a corrupt government run by a corrupt king who was squeezing everything out of the people. They didn't have a right to say what they wanted to say. They didn't have a right to worship God. They didn't have the right to be secure in their own homes. They could bust into your home back then with a thing called a general warrant and no probable cause involved. Just bust in and look around, and if they found something that they felt you shouldn't have, well, then they would charge you. Like the ultimate witch hunt is what it was. So we broke away from that, and we're seeing a lot of resurgence in that in some ways, and that they want to use the IRS as weapon against people. And our government is really screwed up. It really, truly is screwed up. And we've been taught not to trust the government. This is supposed to be the country of the people, by the people, for the people. And unfortunately, our politicians seem to forget that. And it makes things hard. It makes things a lot more frustrating. You can't trust what the government says. Not that you ever should anyway. You should always verify. I think that was Ronald Reagan that said, trust but verify. You look at it and you think to yourself, okay, we are really in a world of hurt. And, we saw that back during the Iranian crisis back in 78. And, just so much going on. But, this is still the greatest country in the world. What makes it the greatest country in the world? The American people. The American people who want to be free. I know that there are Americans out there that don't like it here. And I don't want to do like they used to do in the 60s and say, America, love it or leave it. Although there's a lot of truth to that. And I'll tell you why. My reasoning for that is that, I don't want you to be someplace you don't want to be. Try Canada. I mean, you can get all the socialism. You can get a socialism hoagie, a big old socialism sandwich up there and be happy. But, oh, wait, there's a lot of Canadians that move down here to the States because socialism is not all it's cracked up to be. Okay? We are a republic. We vote for our people, and those people are supposed to represent the morals and values of the people that vote them in office. Canada has too much governmental control. And I talk to Canadians quite often, and they're really not happy with their government. Um, but there's something that differentiates, actually, there's a couple of some things that differentiate us from the rest of the world. We have always been able to take pride in free and honest elections. Now, I know that the election in 2020 is suspect, but I think we'll get that cleared up. America's had problems in the past, okay? And Lady Liberty has tripped a few times, but she's never fallen down, okay? I think we got her pretty close to being on her knees right now, but I believe she's going to stand back up. And I'll tell you the other thing, okay? We got brave men and women all over the world. You know, they've downsized the military, and our brave men and women are all over the world, and they're keeping us safe. They're keeping us safe, and they need to be honored. You know, when you go to a sporting event and they play the national anthem, that national anthem means something to people like me. Okay? That national anthem means something to people like our Vietnam vets that are sitting out there, our Korean vets that are sitting out there, our Desert Storm vets that are sitting out there, our Afghan vets, our Iraqi vets. It means something to people, and it should mean something to you if you didn't serve in the military, because it means that somebody else gave it up so that you can have the right of freedom of speech. You can have the right to vote. You can have the right to be whatever you want, to determine your own future, to determine how far you go in this world. And let's get something straight here. You don't see people dying or even taking a chance on dying to get out of this country. Okay? But every day people are taking a chance on dying to come here. Why? Because even with all of our problems, we are still the land of opportunity. We are still the place where people can come and have the opportunity at a good life. At a good life. If it means bussing tables or working at the car wash or delivering pizzas or whatever, it's still better than what's going on in their country. And I can tell you, as a guy who's traveled and been to third world countries, you want to appreciate America? Go to a third world, or what they call developing nation. Go to a developing nation, and then when you hit the ground back here in the States, those airplane tires hit the ground, you get off that bird and walk back down that gate. You're going to find a floor tile somewhere, and you're going to kiss that tile, because you're going to realize just exactly how good we have it. I still go to church on Sunday, and I don't have to hide that. I still evangelize, and I don't have to hide that. You don't have to like my religion. And you don't have to hide that. Why? Because you have a First Amendment. Let's get something clear. The first 10 amendments of our Constitution are limitations on the government and how they can treat the people. Why? Because of the way the people were treated when that Constitution was written, when we broke away from England. They wanted to ensure that a government could not overstep its bounds. That's why the Bill of Rights exists. Everything in those Bill of Rights is designed to keep the government from becoming totalitarian. Right down to the Second Amendment, which states that we have a right to form a militia, and that the right of the people to bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, do we have screwballs out there that are killing and shooting and all that good stuff? And do we have people who think that, we don't need guns and all that good stuff? Yeah, sure we do. And we're going to have that argument. That's going to be an argument that's going to be there until the return of Jesus himself. But the thing of it is, we have a right to form a militia to protect ourselves. We have a right to protect ourselves. We have that right. In some countries, they don't have that right. Some countries like China, some countries like India, some countries like Pakistan, Iran, and a whole slew of others, they don't have those rights. And you could be put in jail just for owning a Bible. You could be put in jail just for speaking against the government. I have the opportunity to say that I think the president's an idiot. Can't do anything to me about that. I'm not threatening him. I'm not doing anything against him personally. I just think he's an idiot. We take for granted everything. We take for granted everything. You know, when they play the national anthem, and I'm going to dredge up some old stuff here. When they play the national anthem at a sporting event, and you take a knee, my opinion is, okay, it's your First Amendment right, but you are one of the most disrespectful people that could ever be. You're an idiot, in my opinion. Because instead of taking those millions and millions of dollars that you earn and being the change that you want to see, you want to take a knee. Why are you taking a knee? Because you've never been anywhere and you have never seen people who are truly suffering. You live in privilege, but you're going to protest against privilege. The very privilege that you live in. Now, those are examples. That's a little bit of an example of the problems that we have. But one again, I'm going to go right back to it. People will risk losing their lives. People will risk losing the lives of their children to come here. To have an opportunity at the American dream because we are still the city on the hill with the light shining. When I go overseas to developing nations, overseas to third world, they still look at us as the land of opportunity. They still look at us as a blessed people. And we are. And we are. And this is still a great nation. We will always have problems and we will always argue. Our country was birthed in argument. Those guys that did the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States, from Ben Franklin to Jefferson to Adams to everybody, to the guys from New York who abstained on everything, this country was birthed in argument. Okay? And we are not a salad bowl. I don't care what anybody says. We are not a salad bowl. We are the melting pot. Look, my family is all immigrants. My family is immigrant from Greece. My family are immigrants from Italy. My parents were both first generation born here. And I can tell you that my grandparents on both sides of the fence were very proud to be here in America. And stop and think about this, people. How hard is it for someone to be so distressed, to feel so hopeless that they are willing to give up everything, including their lives if need be, to take that risk to come here? To take that risk to have a chance at a good life. We are still the land of opportunity. I feel that kids should be saying the Pledge of Allegiance in school, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Because like it or not, we still have liberty and we still have justice. It may take us a while to get there, but we do get there. Other countries don't even ever get there. So next time you want to say something about America, I'm going to exercise my First Amendment right and tell you to cram it. Right up your nose. Don't ever talk about America in front of me. This is Sergeant K. I hope you have a great 4th of July. I hope you go see some fireworks. I hope you have a great cookout and all of the traditional things that we do on the 4th of July. Our country is not perfect, but we're still the best. We are still the best. And I'm going to leave you with this scripture. And I'm going to 2 Chronicles 7:14, and it says, if my people who are called by my name, that would be Christians, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, I will forgive their sin and heal their land. Instead of griping, humble yourself and pray for this country. Whether you like our president or you don't like our president, pray for him. Pray for the leadership of the country. Pray for the United States of America. I am a very patriotic man. I fly the American flag in front of my house, and maybe that's not something you can do, but I do. And I fly it proudly. And, like I said, we're still the city on the hill. We are still the place that people will risk their lives to go to. If you're that unhappy here, go somewhere where you're going to be happy. Until next time, this is Sergeant K. God bless America. God bless the United States of America. Humble yourself and pray. And let's see Lady Liberty stand back up on both feet again. God bless you. Bye-bye.